The majority of individuals will never be genuinely successful. The attraction to mediocrity is too powerful. All around you is an atmosphere that is attempting to draw you down to second-class street, David Schwartz once wrote. Most people will never escape the pull. Much of the reasoning around us is limited in scope. Most individuals are preoccupied with defeating the other guy, which they generally do through deception and politics. As a result, they are forced to compete for crumbs with the other 99%. This does not have to be the case. If you know where to look, you can live the life of your dreams. 100% financial freedom, becoming your own manager, exploring the world with your family, or anything. However, most individuals would never turn away from the crowd's protection and security to comprehend this. Most people despise failure. They flee from it. They believe that if they suck at anything, it implies they stink. Because their self-worth is strongly related to their performance, every failure proves they aren't good enough. But this is precisely why they will remain mediocre. They cannot learn from their errors if they are not willing to fail. They will never grow and evolve into something more if they never learn. Would you like me to give you a success formula? It's actually fairly simple: double your failure rate. You see failure as the adversary of success. However, this is not the case. Failure may either depress you or teach you something, so make errors. Make every effort possible. Because there is where you will discover success. Watson, Thomas J. If you're not willing to fail, you'll always be average at best. If you want to become a better version of yourself, you must be prepared to fail a lot. Failure teaches us humility. It helps to shape your personality. It teaches you to laugh at your blunders and to stop taking everything so seriously. Your rate of growth will be 10 times faster than if you moved from the shade to the sun. I was frightened of one thing in particular when I first started blogging: negative criticism. I recall a remark from an early piece that said, "This is the worst article I've ever read." It shattered my heart for months. Following that, I made all of my pieces as bland and uncontroversial as possible. Before hitting publish, I'd question myself: no one could possibly critique this, right? I was frightened of failing and being rejected. As a result, my work remained poor and ordinary for years until I began to accept the potential of failure. "Don't seek praise, seek criticism," said Benjamin Hardy. If you accept the chance of failure, you open yourself up to unprecedented triumph. Most individuals would rather be entertained and distracted than study and improve. It's hardly unexpected. Learning is difficult. Going through counseling, becoming a student of your art, and repeatedly failing are not enjoyable experiences. Repetition may be boring or tiresome, which is why very few people ever master anything, says Hal Elrod. But this is fantastic news for the rest of us. Darren Hardy, an uber-successful entrepreneur, once said that he's always delighted when something is tough since it implies most people would never try it. There will always be little competition. Prioritizing training and self-education could be unfamiliar to you. But keep in mind that for every book you read, millions of people did not. Millions of people slept in every morning because you got up early to create and produce. For every day you persevered, millions of others gave up. Surprisingly, the most vigorous rivalry is for second-class rewards. When you prioritize learning, you become conscious of the 1% of possibilities that actually change your life. More significantly, there is a lot less competition for these possibilities. The bulk of people will continue to struggle for scraps with the mediocre majority. That's not a game you want to win. Instead, simply exit the game. Get away from the throng. Choose self-education and learning over entertainment and distraction. Most individuals don't believe they have what it takes to be remarkable. Of course, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't think you can, you won't. Your primary objectives should be experiential learning and personal growth. If you are always seeking success, it will evade you. For success, like happiness, cannot be chased, it must follow, Viktor Frankl said. However, if you consistently prioritize amazing personal change and paradigm-shifting events, success will attract you like a magnet. I recently finished Memoirs of a Geisha. It's a heartbreaking story about a girl sold into slavery for the purpose of satisfying males. The worst aspect is that the young geisha has no idea she's been seeking the wrong thing her entire life, making a man adore her. She felt that if she performed well enough, the devotion of this guy would ultimately provide her with the healing and satisfaction she desired. The majority of people spend their lives seeking the wrong things: money, sex, security, and notoriety. These will not provide you with what you seek. Let go of titles and pleasing others. Concentrate on being someone you are really proud of. Every second you spend being envious is a wasted moment. In this world, we don't have much time. The most successful and well-known people have frequently noted later in life on how startlingly swiftly it all went. You have no time to be envious. When you are continuously influenced by the acts of others, you rarely act like yourself. Your ideals and conduct are less likely to coincide, leaving you sad and empty. Personal incongruency is what causes so much of our sorrow. Being someone else will ruin you. Instead of wasting time comparing yourself to others, opt to spend that time focusing on yourself. Being envious and angry, I once read, is like swallowing poison and expecting the other person to die. That struck me as an oddly true description. One of the finest pieces of advice I've ever received on this subject came in the form of 4 simple words: stay in your lane. It makes no difference how quickly they are traveling. It makes no difference how quickly you are traveling. You'll crash if you keep glancing at other lanes. Concentrate on yourself. Learn everything you can. Experiment, fail, and figure out what works. You'll get momentum quickly. And one day, you'll look around and be amazed at how fast you're traveling. Eliminate jealousy. Invest all of your free time towards studying and progressing. Most individuals will remain mediocre. They'll continue to compete with the majority for ordinary, poor rewards. This does not have to be the case. The path to an extraordinarily fascinating and fulfilling life awaits you. There are no crowds and it is free and open. One of the most thrilling decisions you'll ever make is to transition from an ordinary to an amazing existence. This path's learning, developing, and growth will make you feel more alive than you've ever felt. Choose excellence above mediocrity. Choose to learn over amusement. Choose personal development over envy. Choose what you desire rather than what others want.